Today, the Saudis rolled out the red carpet for Donald Trump. It's actually a lavender carpet. And Trump and the Saudi crown prince touted all the deals they say they're busy making. Saudi Prince Mohammed bin Salman promising Trump $1 trillion in investments in the United States. Of that, the New York Times writes this, quote, economists say that number, equivalent to the size of Saudi Arabia's annual gross domestic product, is not realistic.
And the United States is the hottest country, with the exception of your country, I have to say, right? I'm not going to take that on. No, Mohammed, I'm not going to take that on. Wouldn't that be a terrible thing if I made that full statement? But I will not do it. You're hotter. At least as long as I'm up here, you're hotter.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and Donald Trump showed up in Saudi Arabia like he was auditioning for a Weekend at Bernie's reboot, nodding off mid-briefing, wandering the palace like a lost toddler looking for his mommy, and saluting foreign generals because, frankly, he doesn't know the difference anymore.
It's very interesting what's happening here, and for a lot of different reasons. It is clear that now Saudi Arabia is wanting to have the best relationship they can possibly have with the United States, but more importantly, they see the opportunity only because of President Trump. Their overwhelming desire is for peace in the region, and their overwhelming belief is that the person that is best able to bring that together is going to be President Trump.
Fox News labeled it a new agreement, but what the world saw was a man barely conscious. They expected a deal maker. They got a sleepwalker in a wrinkled blue suit. And if this is the face of the GOP, America's credibility is in hospice care. Donald Trump just kicked off his so-called Middle East comeback tour, a high-stakes diplomatic swing through Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and likely the United Arab Emirates, with what can only be described as a geopolitical faceplant. This was supposed to be a red carpet power play, a grand return to the world stage where Trump would show he still got it. Instead, it turned into something closer to Elon Musk's infamous Cybertruck reveal, where supposedly indestructible windows shattered before a shocked audience. Trump's rollout was just as humiliating. He fell asleep during the formal briefing in Riyadh, wandered in the wrong direction like a dazed mall walker, and saluted a Saudi general in the breach of U.S. protocol that would have sparked a media meltdown had Biden done it. And he didn't go alone. The entourage of enablers included Pete Hegseth, Elon Musk, and a rogues gallery of MAGA influencers and opportunists, all there to make it look like Trump was brokering global deals. But behind the showmanship, this trip is about one thing: money and influence.
Well, here, CEOs from virtually every major U.S. company, including Elon Musk, are present as the White House eyes foreign investment and other business opportunities. This hour, they are attending an investment forum where the two leaders are expected to speak and to sign agreements.
Saudi Arabia, facing a budget crisis and desperate for investment, is banking on Trump to funnel U.S. corporate dollars into its faltering Vision 2030 plan. In return, Trump gets to pretend he's still the leader of the free world. The problem? What they expected was a statesman. What they got was a sleepy, confused relic from a failed presidency. And now we're going to break down exactly how this disaster unfolded and why it should terrify anyone who gives a damn about America's credibility. While Trump stumbles through palaces abroad, back home, the MAGA agenda is gutting the very programs Americans rely on: cancer research, Alzheimer's studies, vaccine development, and infectious disease prevention. Project 2025 lays it out plain: slash public health funding, dismantle scientific agencies, and hand power to private interests. But over in Saudi Arabia, Trump is all smiles, brokering medical research deals on infectious diseases with the same agencies his allies want to defund here. This is outrage. While American families face shrinking resources for basic health care and life-saving research, Trump is out there handing our science to authoritarian regimes for photo ops and personal profit. The world expected a leader. They got a sluggish, stumbling salesman, exporting America's brain power while torching it at home. Trump's not fighting for you. He's selling you out, and you're paying for the trip. And here's the kicker: the part that should make every American furious: While Trump is over there brokering deals for medical research and infectious disease collaboration with Saudi Arabia, back home the MAGA agenda is slashing those very same programs. Under Project 2025, they're coming for cancer research, Alzheimer's funding, vaccine development, even the CDC itself. They want to dismantle public health and gut science in the name of small government, but in Riyadh, Trump's handing over American science like it's part of a clearance sale. It just keeps getting worse because once you get past the headlines and the palace footage, you realize how deep the incompetence actually goes. This isn't just some sleepy stumble or harmless gaffe. This is a guy trying to look like a world leader while actively dismantling the country he claims to represent. It's insulting. Trump didn't just embarrass himself, he exposed everything that's wrong with his administration. The blunders were bad enough, nodding off mid-briefing like he was waiting at a pharmacy drive-thru, wandering in the wrong direction like he's lost his place in line at the Golden Corral, and saluting a Saudi general like it was a damn game of Simon Says. But this wasn't just physical decline, it was mental, strategic, diplomatic failure on full display. And the GOP, they'll keep saying he's sharp, he's strong, while the man can't even figure out which side of the room to stand on. They called Biden weak for tripping on a sandbag. Trump saluted a North Korean general and looked proud doing it. And while everyone's focused on his lack of motor control, they're ignoring what's actually happening in the background. This whole trip, it's not about diplomacy, it's about deals, quiet deals, shady deals, deals that make American institutions, our research, our infrastructure, our justice system, and wrap them in gold-plated ribbon for foreign regimes who don't care one bit about democracy. Trump and his team of grifters are cutting backroom agreements that hand over science, our tech, even our law enforcement partnerships to authoritarian states, all so he can look presidential again. It's theater. It's all theater. Meanwhile, back in the States, the MAGA blueprint is burning the house down. Cancer research, Alzheimer's funding, CDC programs on the chopping block. Public health is being gutted in real time. And yet here's Trump smiling in Saudi Arabia, giving them the very tools and partnerships we've been told we can't afford anymore. Infectious disease research, NIH collaboration, that's supposed to be for the American people. But instead, he's handing it off for a handshake and a photo op like it's a yard sale, and that the science is marked free if you know a prince. It's insane. You've got families in this country desperately hoping for new treatments, new trials, better access to care. And Trump's over there grinning in front of marble columns while he's giving the Saudis what they're being told we can't afford. It's that doesn't piss you off. You're not paying attention. And the excuse makers are already working overtime. He's tired. It's jet lag. It's a long flight. Give us a break. This is the same crowd that mocked Biden for tripping, that spun conspiracy theories about his brain, and now their golden god can't even stay awake in a meeting, and they're calling it statesmanship. The hypocrisy is so thick, you could bottle it and sell it as MAGA cologne. Let's be honest. Trump's not in the Middle East to serve the country. He's there to serve himself. He's there to sell influence, boost his image, and prove to the foreign audience that he can still play president, even if he can't walk straight or finish a sentence without drifting off. And the worst part, we're paying for it. Not just in tax dollars or international credibility, but in the research we're losing, the programs we're sacrificing, and the future we're trading away. So yeah, we're going to keep talking about this, because while the MAGA crowd keeps pretending this guy is a warrior king, the rest of the world sees what he is, a tired old man, lost on a blue carpet, being babysat by foreign handlers, while our country's resources are put on a clearance rack. And then, just when you thought it couldn't get more humiliating, he looks the crown prince in the eye and says Saudi Arabia is doing hotter than the United States. Hotter? To the same man who literally had a U.S. journalist dismembered and disposed of like garbage? And there's Trump on his knees for profit, licking boots in a palace while pretending it's diplomacy. If Joe Biden had said anything close to that, if he had saluted a foreign general or stumbled through a royal court like a lost toddler, Fox News would have declared a constitutional crisis, demanded hearings, and plastered it across their news channels for a week straight. But with Trump, we get crickets. This isn't America first. It's America humiliated. It's gross. It's cowardly. And it's exactly what happens when you put a con man in charge of a superpower. Trump isn't back. He's just back in the way. And if this is his idea of leadership on day one of his tour, then God help us when he gets to Qatar, because we already know what's coming next. More shady deals, more sellouts, and more excuses. And when the smoke clears and the jet fumes fade, we'll still be here, trying to rebuild what he gave away for applause in a palace. And that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.